You got Tim Cowlishaw of the Dallas Morning News and the star of Around the Horn. He joins us now. Hi, Tim.
This team is loaded at quarterback, Danny. They come at you in waves.
Is there a morale hit with this team at all when Romo goes down and Des Bryant's out?
I don't think during the game. I think after the game, you're probably flying home realizing, all right, we got a whole bunch of weeks to go with our two best players sitting on the sidelines. I think it hits some, but, football players are football players. They think we're 2-0, let's just keep going. I don't think it hits home until they play some of these games they have coming up.
All right, you bring in Matt Castle just for what?
I think, because you would you would really be desperate if something happened to Brandon Weeden, because their backup was Boise State's Kellen Moore, who's never even taken a preseason snap here. So for now, he's here as insurance. Now, if things go really badly, they have 3 games before the bye: Atlanta, New Orleans, and then New England, and then they have a bye. If things are going really poorly, then that bye week might be used to take a look at Matt Castle and get him ready for the Giants.
How much confidence? I know how much confidence Jerry Jones says he has in Brandon Weeden, but let's be realistic here. How much confidence do you think that his teammates have or the media has in him?
I think the confidence is all in the defense is playing better than expected. They still think this offensive line is great, even though Randall and McFadden don't have the stats to show that running the ball, and that they can win games the way Ryan Fitzpatrick can outplay Andrew Luck and win games that way. I don't think it's a confidence that Brandon Weeden's going to come in and throw for 303 touchdowns and win him a game.
Any chance they bring in somebody? I know Terrell Owens is always raising his hand in the classroom to say, hey, I'll be more than happy to play for the Cowboys at age, 41. But is there anybody that they can bring in, promote, sign for Des Bryant?
I don't think that's as realistic. I mean, I just, not that they have a lot of depth at wide receiver, but if you have Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley, and then you got Witten and a couple tight ends, the big problem is, the news that Witten survived this last game with allegedly two sprained ankles and a sprained knee, and now they lose him, and now you're throwing Gavin Escobar out there to start. And I mean, it's just, you think of this team last year. At this time last year, we were talking about Romo, DeMarco Murray, and Dez, and where they compare to Aikman, Emmett, and Irvin. All 3 of those are gone for a long time. One for good, the others for 2 months.
We've gotten varying reports on Des Bryant. Do we know that the window was 8 to 12? Then it's now 10 to 12 weeks. Do we have any idea?
I don't think we have a good idea. There are other doctors saying this bone graft thing they did is not something to be alarmed about. The Mavericks doctor said that, for whatever that is worth. I think you have to assume it's going to be at least probably as long as Romo. It's probably going to be 8 weeks. I don't think you can assume either one of them. Well, Romo can't play till November 22nd, and I don't think you should safely assume Dez will be back before then.
So no trade for Jerry Jones. He's not doing anything other than bringing in Castle.
Well, let's see what happens against Atlanta. And if this team is not undefeated Sunday night, then some of the ideas around here might change. I mean, and you know this. I don't have to tell you. They're in such a bad division.
Yeah.
We made fun of Carolina going to the playoffs 7-8-1. If you can get to 8-8 in the NFC East, you're probably going to the playoffs.
What is it like? Give people a sense of what it's like to be around the Cowboys if you're covering them. How interesting or difficult is it to be around them?
It's very different, I think, than a lot of teams. Just the travel, the hotels, the people. I'm sure other teams have some fans hanging around, but the Cowboys have a ridiculous amount of people, just to see the bus and to do that kind of thing. Covering the team, once you're in the locker room, it's changed through the years. I first started doing it in 1985. You've had a lot of superstar type people coming through, so that's changed. And right now, the stars are all on the sidelines. So right now, it's a more humble team in the locker room.
How's Jerry Jones to deal with?
Well, Yeah, you get to deal with him a lot. You don't deal with him a lot one-on-one, but you better be down there after the game because he's going to talk usually for 20 minutes, and a lot of it is gold, so you want to be there for that. You know, there are fans obviously get frustrated, and there are times we don't understand what he's doing, and we've always questioned the situation with not having a GM. But I just think about what other owners are like in other cities, and in that regard, being in the media, you're lucky to have him.
But so you respect the fact that Jerry Jones has accountability here.
He has a lot of accountability. I mean, there's a lot of owners who never, or maybe once a year, they'll come out, from their tower and say a few things. But I mean, he's there all the time, and you can ask. I don't know how he could be more accountable. Now, I think he's wrong about his belief that by not having a GM. That he, acting as GM, can do things more boldly than others. I understand the premise of that. I haven't seen it work for most of the last 20 years, but I do understand where he's coming from.
Would he ever fire himself as GM?
He's been asked that before, and he said he's probably deserved it a couple times, but the answer to that is no, he's not going to. That will not be happening.
Are you on Around the Horn today?
We've all wondered if another owner would ever call to see if they could talk to Jerry Jones, the GM, to hire him, and see if he'd give permission. I am not on till tomorrow, Danny, unfortunately. So I will be coming in strong tomorrow.
Yeah, I probably won't watch today then.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah,
Don't tell them. Yeah, no, it'll be a great episode. Trust me.
Episode? Is that what you're?
Yeah, we like to call them episodes.
Episodes. I like that. Yeah. Well, sometimes when you have like a heart condition, you can have an episode as well.
We have some candidates for those on the show as well.
Is Woody Page old enough to be your dad?
Surprisingly, Woody Page is. I believe he and Bob Ryan are both 9 years older than me. I'm a little closer to them than you might think. So not.
Wow. Although I'm sorry about that, Tim.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate for all of
us. You better get engaged soon, then, man.
I need to get something going here, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Try to get my life in order so I have something beyond Around the Horn of this show.
Did you say get your wife in order or life? Your
life
in order.
Get my life in order.
Do you feel better or worse when you come on this show when you're done?
I always feel better. I always feel I'm very, very ready to engage the day.
All right. Go out and seize the day. Carpe diem, Tim, all right?
Okay.
All right. That's per diem. Tim Cowlishaw, Dallas Morning News.